Good afternoon. My name is Tiffany Jones, and today I'll be speaking about my marvelous mom. And my mother, she is extraordinary. Her childhood began August 26, 1970, where she was born in Brooklyn, New York, and she loves being from New York. And she tells me a story every day from her childhood and just about her life growing up in a city rather than here in Virginia, where I was born. She was born in New York. She had three siblings, two younger and one older brother, and one younger brother and one younger sister. My Aunt Janine, my Uncle Anthony is the older brother, and my Uncle Jerome. My grandmother, her mother was a single mom, raising four kids on her own. And of course, having four kids, you have to break your back to give them everything that they need, and not even what they need. She supplied almost everything that they wanted also. She might have been really rough on them from the stories that I hear on a daily basis, but you have to be hard on kids, especially as a single parent, in my opinion. Continuing with her childhood, um, again, my grandmother, she worked nonstop, and my uncles and my mom and my aunts, they all tell me that they basically they raise themselves to a certain extent because again my grandmother worked so hard to make the money and make ends meet for them to live in a great neighborhood and to get everything that they needed and wanted. They played extracurricular sports, so when you play sports in school you have to have uniforms and shoes and work uniforms if they work anything. And they had a ritual of going to Coney Island every week, and they got milkshakes and they had fun. They had fun with on a little tight budget that they had. My mom, she enjoyed school while she was in it, but she knew that she didn't want to go to college or further her education in that aspect. But her decision about school and living in New York, it made her realize that she kind of didn't want to be held back and stay there her entire life, because she tells me a story about one day she walked past a park, and some guys that she used to hang out with, they always were at the park. Any time of day, any time of night, they were always at the park. And one day she drove by there and she said that if she didn't leave New York, that she would be sitting in that same spot like 15 years from then. And she did not. She wanted to make a change then and there, and that led her to joining the Navy, the United States Navy. Um, she joined the Navy. Until this day, she says that that's the best decision she's ever made. With that decision, it led her into her adulthood, and she remained in the Navy for 20 years. Retired as a senior chief. Um, she tells me how it was hard being a woman with such a high rank and being an instructor. She was a fire safety instructor. Um, and also, while in the Navy, she found my dad, her husband, James. He was also in the Navy, and they both retired around the same time. My dad retired a couple of months after her. But they got married and bought a home here in Virginia Beach. They also, after getting married, a year later, they had me, and then 4 years later, they had my younger brother, Maurice. When they bought their home, this is the same home that I live in today, so they've lived in the same home, luckily for me and my younger brother, that we haven't had to move around. And I have a younger brother. He's 17 now. He plays basketball. I played basketball in high school. Um, while in the Navy, my mother, again, she was a fire instructor, and she was great at her job. Everyone complimented her. They loved her, and she made everything fun, as she says. She does make everything fun. And luckily, after she retired, she had a little bit of a break, but she figured she would use what she used for the past 10, 15 years of her life and continue on. And so she became a firefighter in Norfolk, Virginia in around 2010, 2011. Fun facts about her. She's amazing. She's downright amazing. She's the life of the party. She's very exciting. in my eyes, she's original because there's no one like my mom. I mean, I feel as though I'm becoming like her, and it's kind of scary because I see myself turning into her every day. But she's also very determined. She feels as though there's not enough time in the day. And even though there isn't enough time in the day, she utilizes every minute. She could be, she could get off of work and then on her way home, she could stop at the bank, do grocery shopping. And she could do so much stuff in such a little time. She can cook our dinner in less than 15 minutes. She's strong, independent, and my neighbor, and also a lot of people call her their Shiro, which she is because she she's the ultimate person. she she's there's no words to describe her, honestly. But I just wake up every morning and thank her and thank my mom, my dad. I thank everyone, both of them, for just creating this me. Because without them, I wouldn't be the person that I am. And I know that I am just great. And I know that I'm just parts of them and my mother, especially because she's like my best friend. And I just couldn't imagine anyone else being my mom besides her. I just thank her every day for being my friend and raising me to be the woman that I am today and helping me grow and lead me into certain aspects of life and helping me make decisions along the way. I just thank her dearly and I love her. Thank you. That's my mom. Bye.